So the last time we talked to Lieutenant Candace Horsman of the Salvation Army, they were at 65% of their goal, and that was 10 days ago for the Red Kettle campaign. You know, it's been such a struggle in recent years with everybody having their difficulties. All of the charitable organizations seem to struggle at this time of the year because there are so many of them and so much need. Well, let's talk to Lieutenant Candace Horsman and get the update. It's brought to us by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you with us here today. You've got good news for me, don't you?
I have excellent news. I am just thrilled to share that we have not only met, but we have surpassed our goal, and we still have some time to go. As of Saturday evening, we raised $73,468.50.
$73,400.
Yep.
And your goal was?
$60,000.
$60,000. So with a week to go in the Red Kettle campaign, you're chugging right along.
We are, and we are so thrilled, especially since typically we have our Red Kettle breakfast, which is an in-person event, and that's separate from our goal, but it leads into our Red Kettle campaign. And this year we did an online auction, and that was fairly successful. But typically we, with the in-person event, we raise about $38,000, and with the online sales, we raise about $3,600. So this will help not only with our kettle goal, but also helping to make up that income from the Red Kettle breakfast.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so take me inside the daily totals as you're getting the Red Kettles back each day and you count up whatever you were able to raise on that day. When did it dawn on you that this was not only going well, but going far beyond your wildest imagination?
Really, about right after I talked to you, the donations just kept coming in. The kettles are getting fuller and fuller, and as we're counting the money, we're counting the dollars, we're like, wow, people are just have been really generous. We also were able to send out some letters to some businesses and individuals, and we've seen an excellent return on those. And I think, the pandemic has just really put things into perspective for a lot of people, and we're just seeing just this newfound generosity. People have this just sense of gratefulness for what they've been given, and they want to give it back to other people, and so it's been really beautiful to see.
Well, I'd like for the radio station to take credit for all of that, but I can't, because when you told me 10 days ago that you were at 65% of goal, and I recalled past years when we were at 65% of goal and we were already past Christmas. That's when I knew that you were onto something special with the Salvation Army and the Red Kettle campaign this year. There must be some pretty good stories attached to all of this too, right?
Yeah, like I said, this newfound sense of gratitude we're seeing in donors. We had a gentleman come in the other day, and he had done a siding job for somebody, and they had paid him, and he thought more than what he deserved. And he said that night he was laying in bed, and he thought to himself, I have everything that I need. I'm not in want for anything, and so I should really give back. And so he showed up the next day, and he donated $500 in cash to our Red Kettle campaign. And he just had this sense of wanting to give back, and it was just so wonderful. So wonderful to see.
Amazing. And, of course, those people who are there collecting, I'm sure they're noticing the uptick in activity, and they're saying to themselves, this is different from other years. There's something going on here.
They are, and it is very encouraging to them because, a lot of them are out there for 8 hours a day, and it's cold. Sometimes it's snowing, and it's so wonderful to pick them up and have their kettle, and they say to me, Lieutenant, feel how heavy it is. And they'll say, text me later with my total, because this isn't just the Salvation Army's campaign, it's their campaign too. Like, they have this sense of ownership and pride in what they're doing. And so it's been really encouraging not only to us, but the bell ringers as well, to see this increase in generosity.
Well, it's tremendous. And you've still got time to raise more funds for Salvation Army programs, which reach out and touch so many lives here in Indiana County. So give me the schedule for this week.
Well, this week we are out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and even Thursday up till 2 o'clock. I'm going to do my best to cover all my locations. I'm down to just a couple of bell ringers, but they've been faithful and true and stuck it out. And so we're going to do our best to be at Giant Eagle, Walmart, Indiana, Walmart, Blairsville, perhaps even Bilo if I have people to help cover.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't want to put any pressure on anybody or on you, but is there still the opportunity for someone to volunteer?
There is. They can call me today and go out today. I would love to have people, and they can just call the office and chat with me. And the volunteers have just been doing a great job. I was running some totals actually today, and the volunteer groups alone combined have raised over $8,000.
Wow.
And so it's really incredible. Just when people work together, incredible things can happen, and we're just seeing such a wonderful return for all of the investments.
So when Lieutenant Candace Horsman comes to Indiana for the Salvation Army, and this is her very first Red Kettle campaign, she's probably going, it's easy stuff.
No, Red Kettle campaign is never easy. This is my third campaign, and every campaign looks a little different. I think we weren't quite sure what it was going to look like in the pandemic. I think we've been hurting in a lot of ways, and we have just been thrilled with the response, really astounded by the response.
Well, the interesting thing then about it is that it's not like the money that is above the total that you are hoping for is going to sit there unused. It's not like you don't have a use for it. You've really taken a financial hit this year with the Salvation Army, as so many other organizations have, and this is really going to fill a gap.
Absolutely. We've definitely seen an increase in need, and for our programming, this past week we distributed 348 bags of toys to children, and typically it's about half that number. So definitely there's an increase in need, and with that comes the need to raise funds to cover that. And so this is going to help us not only with our seasonal programs, but our programs year-round.
One of the interesting things to me about it, and again, we're talking with Lieutenant Candace Horsman for the Indiana unit of the Salvation Army, announcing today that with a goal of $60,000, they are over $73,000 in donations. What it got me to thinking about was last summer's feeding programs, and how many people were helped by those feeding programs when they were in some pretty poor financial shape. And it could be very well that some of those people are the ones who are helping to push you a little bit further down the road here with the give back donations. They felt your kindness, the kindness of the Salvation Army and other folks reaching out to them and said, I can give back.
Definitely. Yeah, I know of so many people that have been impacted by the Salvation Army, or even their parents and their grandparents, and they've created just this legacy of generosity as people remember what the Salvation Army has done for them, and they've given back. And so we have seen that. I remember a man, we distributed a Thanksgiving meal drive-through style, and 20 minutes after he came back around in his car, and I'm like, what did we do? Was the turkey not good? Or and he said, that was just so excellent. I want to give you a donation. And we were like, you don't have to. This is free. And he's like, I know, but I'm just so grateful for you and what you guys do. And that was just so impactful for us, that he, received a service, and then he gave back out of the abundance of his heart, really.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful story. All right. And you've been full of beautiful stories all through this season, through the Red Kettle campaign season. So where do we go from here? What's going to happen this week with the Salvation Army? I think folks need to be reminded from time to time that you're not just a charitable organization seeing to the needs of others. You're a church. And it's Christmas week, so it's a very special week. Yeah, yesterday we had our Christmas service, so that was wonderful. We throughout the year we have other programs just besides our social services. We have our after school program, we have a summer day camp, we have Bible studies, women's group, men's group, and so we're not only just about meeting people's physical needs, but we also feel a strong sense of a desire to meet their emotional and spiritual needs as well. Absolutely. So some great stories today from the Salvation Army, the Red Kettle campaign. As we move forward into a new year, 2021, Salvation Army is going to be there for folks, and you do so many things for so many different organizations and individuals, and I know that your services will go on, and that's just, you've really picked up our spirits today, Candace. I have been encouraged in this season as well, and so I think
I think that I'm glad to kind of pass along that encouragement that's kind of come through the generosity of people.
It is good news, and we're so happy for you and for everybody else. Our only concern is that people will see, oh, Candace went there to Indiana, and look how much money she raised. We're going to take her to a bigger market.
No. It wasn't me. It was honestly, I think the Lord was looking out for us, and the people, they have just stepped up and in a beautiful way. And so I am happy where I am. So Salvation Army, if you're listening, leave me here.
There you go. There you go. Candace Horsman, everybody with the Salvation Army, thanks so much for blessing us this morning with this wonderful news, and I hope you all have a very blessed Christmas season.
You as well. Thank you so much.
Bye now.
Bye.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160. AM 1160.